Hello, Southwest Florida. Welcome back to Lee Pitts Live. Where are we? We're at the Children's Network of Southwest Florida, one of the most important organizations in the world because they are there for one specific reason, to assist our children to get on to a better life. So I always say they are the heroes. I got a chance to talk right now to the CEO and president of the Children's Network of Southwest Florida. Nadereh, welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Lee. Good to be here.
Always good to get you on the show. I know you're really busy. Am I correct in saying that you've been heading this up for over 20 years?
Yes. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary here in Southwest Florida. No, you're absolutely correct. So Children's Network was actually created in 2003. Serving our community, we work with abused and neglected children, and our goal is to put families back together safely. So reunification of families is our number one priority.
You know, off the air, I said that when I was interviewed by the Associated Press that I told them that I can remember back in 1992 doing an interview on what is this new thing called the internet and what is this new thing called a website.
Yes.
So you go back 20 years and tell me what stands out to you way back 20 years ago when you guys first got started?
Well, way back then, we were serving almost 3,000 kids. And for our small community, that was just a lot of kids and families that were unfortunately experiencing trauma and abuse and neglect and abandonment. So over the 20-year journey, we've brought that number down to almost less than 2,000 kids.
Okay.
And we've done that through innovation, lots of programming, investing in the community, lobbying for more funding to come into our communities to serve families. We have a fantastic board of directors right here. All members of our board are members of our 5 counties that we serve. So it's been a wonderful journey. Like all journeys, it has its ups and downs, but we have a lot to be proud of and fun to look back at.
One thing that stood out about what you just said is you started off with a larger number and you said now we're down. Most of the time people are measured by going up. In your case, it's always about going down, right?
Yeah, in this business, less is better.
Okay.
So, we do that through prevention. We do a lot of prevention programs, education in the community, partnering with the community, because we're a community-based lead agency, nonprofit. So we partner with the faith community, with law enforcement, judiciary, foster parents, guardians, media, for-profit, philanthropy. Anybody that wants to help kids and families, we welcome them into our family.
And you sit around brainstorming on how to come up with new stuff. Now you come up with fatherhood engagement. You dropped that one on me because I've done so many shows over the years that I'm familiar with pretty much all your programs.
Yes.
This I'm excited to hear about this. What is fatherhood engagement?
Well, historically, I think a lot of systems and programs are based on moms. We're always working with moms to get the kids back to them. And I think fathers play such a pivotal role in kids' lives, and they've been overshadowed, historically. So with bringing a very intentional focus to dads and making them a part of the kids' lives, one, kids need to grow up with families, preferably with both parents. And 2, fathers play a very unique role. We've seen outcomes for kids are always worse when they don't have a father figure in their lives. So this is just another opportunity for us to really embrace the fathers, engage them, support them, and give them a chance to get their kids back too.
Do you think fathers get underrated a lot of times? They are, hi mom, they never talk about us.
Well, as a woman, yes. I think dads are, they're overrated, but moms take on a lot. I have to defend the moms, but dads do a lot too.
Right. I think this is a great way to get them engaged. Talk about some specifics on how that is going to take place, how that works.
Right. So we actually have several programs that engages fathers now. So, a couple of years ago, well, more than a couple, we started our family mentoring program, and I think you've done a segment on that, where we recruit volunteers from the community to mentor our young moms and dads. And we have mentors that are dads themselves that come back and want to help, our young dads. So this program just takes it a step further, where we have actually committed staff that will work with dads, help them get to services, remove barriers that they might face, and really just support them a lot more than we have in the past.
How do you encourage people who may be reluctant to get involved in the program, dads in particular, fathers?
So, dads have been coaching each other in sports and all sorts of things. So this is another, if you have a skill, if you have some abilities, come and coach another young dad, just dad to dad, man to man, whatever. So we're not looking for people that come with necessarily education or degree, just life experience, and a non-judgmental approach to say, hey, I'm a dad, I know what you're going through, maybe I've raised my kids already, or I am raising my kids, so just lend a supportive hand.
So let me understand this a little better. The Fatherhood Engagement Program has a volunteer component to it. You can volunteer, and then you also have fathers who might be real fathers who are doing what they're doing. Kind of walk me through that.
Yeah, it has both components, and I know you're going to get into this a lot more. But we have actually staff that will work with the fathers, find resources for them, identify what the barriers are, encourage them to get engaged, especially dads whose kids have been removed, they're in the dependency system. And then we also have the other component where we're recruiting volunteers in the community so they can then be an extension of what we do. Because, we don't want to stay in people's lives forever. We want to be there when they need us, help them, and then we want to exit. But when we exit, families still need support. So that's where the community volunteers come in, where we create some kind of a friendship, big brother, dads coaching each other. So that's the component that I think I'm really excited about.
And people who are watching us on television right now or listening to us on the radio, if they want to get involved, they should just go to that website and call that phone number. Go ahead and give it.
So the phone number is 855-933-KIDS, and our website is childrensnetworkflorida.org.
There you go. Now, how is the program up and running as we speak?
So the mentoring part of our program has sort of been running under the family mentoring, but we've expanded it now. So we're recruiting dads for our mentoring program, and we already have our staff that will be our fatherhood engagement specialist. So we're in the early stages, but yes, we're open for business.
And it won't hurt to have dads, males, I would just say males, because do you have to have been a dad, or you could just be a single male who's not a dad, but you want to volunteer and do something? Or you got to have that, bring that experience with you?
I mean, honestly, you don't have to have your own biological father to have been a dad. A lot of our coaches have been dads to many, many kids, teachers and pastors and preachers. And so if you've played a father figure in a kid's life, I bet you could, coach another father on how to become a good, positive role model for your kids.
Mm-hmm. And that this stems out into your main Children's Network kids that you have in foster care. And,
yes.
And I want you to kind of give our viewers an overall scope of the type and places that you have a lot of children that you touch.
Yeah. So primarily for our kids that have been removed from their parents and placed in foster homes, a lot of times the fathers are they're disheartened, they become disengaged, they see that all the focus is on moms, helping them get parenting skills and, deal with their substance abuse issue or mental health issues, and then we work to reunify the family, right? Put the kid back with the biological parent. So this way, we will not allow our fathers to kind of fall to the wayside. We will engage them just as much and put just as much effort into them as we do the moms, because frankly, we're starting to see cases where kids are returned to fathers. Sometimes the mothers are not able to get themselves back on track.
Once they engage with your organization, what happens from there? They fill out some paperwork, you do a big background check on them, you call around the world to find out if they ever jaywalked or what happens?
So, it varies. We have different levels of engagement of our volunteers and mentors. So if they're going to volunteer and mentor with an adult, obviously we do background checks on everybody, and we do some training because, we want people to be prepared. The families come with unique needs, and we don't want our mentors to find themselves in a situation where they don't know what to do. So, but if you're going to volunteer and mentor our kids, our teens, then it's definitely a lot more involvement and vetting process.
What would you estimate would be the amount of time you would be involved in the process? Is that something that you would choose, or you guys expect a certain amount of commitment per month or something like that?
Yeah, for our family mentoring, we're asking for an hour a week because we want it to be a meaningful relationship, right? And that can be done, with a phone call, with a in-person visit. You can maybe meet for coffee or, meet at the grocery store, whatever it takes. But I think an hour a week is what we expect of people. So it's definitely doable. We spend a lot more time doing other things that are less meaningful than helping another young parent.
How can local families, corporations, organizations get involved in what you're doing?
Well, we already cited our website and phone number, but you know, Lee, we've always been looking for foster parents. We can never have enough foster parents. So I invite the community to consider becoming a foster parent or adopt a child or mentor or support our foster parents. You know, and you can always help the organization. You know, we have a lot of donors that support us that we can have the funding to do programs like this.
Right, and you know I make a donation every year. I don't have the check written right here, but I'm going to say it verbally. Just look forward to a $2,000 donation. I'll write the check once we get off the air.
We have to bump again.
But this time I want my donation. This time I want my donation earmarked for the father program right now, because I think that's a good program. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And see, this is how the community can help. And
Right.
maybe we'll get you to coach it. You know.
Fatherhood program.
That's right.
Maybe I can come out and do a little swimming lessons. Y'all get a pool.
Absolutely, absolutely.
People don't know about that.
No, we have a lot of teens, you know, teen boys that really
Yeah.
are craving, you know, a father in their lives.
That sounds really good. When you look into the crystal ball for the Children's Network of Southwest Florida, 5-10 years from now, let's just go 5. What do you see?
So, you know, if I can, I want to step back for a moment. So about 18 months ago, because we're such a stellar organization and our performance in this community has been unbelievable, Department of Children and Families reached to us and said, hey, can you come up to Tampa and run the Hillsborough operation, which had almost 4,000 kids. So we did that. So we,
Really?
Absolutely. So we actually created the Children's Network of Hillsborough.
Really?
And we are running.
I'm jealous. But that's
we are
okay.
running programs up there and already seeing good results for our community. So, and we obtained our Medicaid number, so we're now doing some clinical services for our families. And our next hope is to really dive deeper into families struggling with substance abuse. We have a peer recovery program, and we have 10 certified peer specialists working with us. So we really want to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem for our families is parental substance abuse, domestic violence, and mental health. So we are really trying to address all those things. So once we, you know, work with our families and they leave us, we don't want to see them again, frankly.
And overall, too, a lot of the work that you guys do, it contributes to the betterment of society, reduces crime, recidivism. What do you call it when kids don't go to school?
Truancy.
Everything falls under that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, a good, healthy family foundation can really propel our kids to have a great future. And so, you know, our motto now is change a life for good. And that's what we try to do, change a life for good.
Okay.
And it starts with, you know, kids and parents.
I'm getting a bracelet here. Change a life for good. Tell me about this slogan.
So the slogan is, you know, before we were creating networks and safety, you know, nets for families, but really we want to take it to the next level. We want, if we touch a family, we want to leave them better than what we found them.
Great.
So that's why we decided, you know, we need to change lives for good, all lives, parents, kids, next generation, and other generations to come.
I want to go back to Hillsborough County. When you say that you're now doing work in Hillsborough County, that says to me that there's a demand, and it always needs to be filled. We throughout the state of Florida, throughout the United States, just speak to the big picture of how we constantly need to be putting these safety nets in place, and how there may not be enough organizations to fill all that void.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the problems don't get less, they get more complicated. So, and you know, communities deserve to have quality organizations serving them, right? So that's, I think, what was the motive behind, you know, us getting invited to Hillsborough County. So everyone's looking for organizations that have a proven track record, that have actually, you know, reduced the recurrence of abuse, or have made sure that the kids that go through the foster care system are not harmed, and, you know, finish their school and go on to college. For us, we've had several of our former foster youth that have gotten their master's degrees and moved on. We have hired some of them. So I think it's that kind of thing that motivates people to say, hey, something good is happening here. Let's go see what's going on and replicate it.
One of the things that has impressed me about the organization, along with the many things that have been so impressive, is over the years when I've interviewed people, most of them have been working here forever. I mean, like 15, 20 years. They never leave. It takes a committed person, and it's a lot of passion there, right?
Yeah, very much so. You know, the thing is, people are loyal to us, but we're loyal right back. We treat our staff like family members. A lot of us, when we started, we didn't even have kids. Now we have kids, and they're grown. And so, you know, we take that seriously. We don't treat them like employees. We treat them like family members. And that's why you have people that have been with us from the beginning, you know, such as myself. And we love what we do. This is a passion and a calling. If you want to work with abused kids, this is more than just a job.
Well, I want to thank you for hosting Lee Pitts Live here for the next 4 weeks.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure having you.
It's always a pleasure to come out here. You guys always treat us with the big Thanksgiving spread of food. We're going to get some video of that, Skinny, later on. I think you got some more food coming in, and you guys always treat us first class. We appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
And I'll give you the check off the air. I'm committed to it.
Thank you.
All right,
God bless you. All right.
Let's bump you.
Yes.
As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like the fine people at the Children's Network of Southwest Florida. Miami may have the oranges, but the Children's Network of Southwest Florida has got the
juice.
They got the juice. We'll be right back.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.
Hello, everybody. This is Lee. I'm so glad that you watched that particular show. And if you enjoyed that show, we got other shows like that. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch Lee Pitts Live on demand anytime. And also hit us up on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live, and there you go.